gay people of Reddit, what's something you want straight people to know? Straight women at gay bars know that a lot of people had to fight for us to have our own space, which we've made very inclusive. Don't compare me to your one gay friend at your Natch bachelorette party. We don't charge straight men or women higher covers at our bars either, and usually have the strongest paws around. Overall, just be respectful of the space we share.
It's really creepy when people fetishize the fact that I date women and make inappropriate comments. This has included comments about how I'm technically still a virgin, asking repetitively if I would ever sleep with a man, or asking if I wear a strap-on. I just happen to like women. It's not something out of a porno. I just want to meet someone and fall in love and live happily ever after, maybe get a dog, make dinner together, etc., not star in someone's weird lesbian fantasy.
Recently a guy I'd been dating found out I've dated women and it completely derailed the trajectory of the relationship. It was like he forgot who I was and suddenly was convinced I'm a sex-crazed maniac who was desperate to peg him. I wasn't. And the cheap strap-on and other sex toys he bought me as a Valentine's Day gift was neither personal nor romantic. I had never once given him any indication I wanted to do that. He just automatically figured I've had sex with women, therefore I must be much kinkier than he'd previously realized. He was pretty disappointed when I didn't react with giddy excitement and instead was like we broke up shortly after.
I haven't done a survey with a big sample size on this or anything, so maybe I'm off base here. But I and all the other lesbians I know avert our eyes when we see naked ladies in locker rooms and such. We're probably not ogling you in there, straight girls. We get creeped on, too, and we understand that it's very gross.
I have that too as a gay man. I haven't been in too many locker rooms, but I have this deep internal respect of personal boundaries and avoiding anything to make straight men feel uncomfortable. It's almost unhealthy though, in that my straight friends have tried to give me a hug while I reached out with a handshake. Thankfully I've gotten over that a little.
Oh, same, about the almost unhealthy part. I grew up being taught that gay people and gay attraction were predatory things, so of course I internalized that I must be some kind of gross sexual predator even in totally innocent situations. It takes a lot of time to unlearn that.
Internalized complexes like that is what makes me uncomfortable with myself sometimes, even when I know it's just the result of what basically amounts to brainwashing. I wish they understood that we're not attention seekers. Most of us in homophobic families go online to express ourselves. And same goes for people with depression, such as myself. The other day I explained to my stepdad that I was stressed that my friend almost killed himself and my stepdad called him an attention seeker. Most of my friends are depressed due to their family situations.
I have no intention of stealing your girl edit. Just to clarify, I'm a bisexual girl and I have never harassed or get flirty with the Joelfried of my friends. From what I've understood though from your replies, a lot of people have been through that kind of situation. I am so sorry for it. I just want to remind you that not all the gay boys girls have that intention.
Putting a finger up your butt during sex doesn't make you gay, dudes.
As a bi woman, no, straight dudes, I am not going to be your magical threesome fairy.
Half my messages from other women on dating websites are just couples wanting me to be their unicorn. It's always a really cute girl and a guy who looks like he hasn't showered or groomed himself in a month. I've even been a unicorn for an older couple. It was fun, but I'm not looking to do it again.
Okay, my ignorance is really going to show here, but I don't know what a unicorn is in this context.
The magical bi girl that will shag you and your wife, but won't want anything in return and won't ask you due to any emotional labor.
You get charged for that.
That just because a man is gay or bi doesn't mean that they cannot be good friends with other men, straight, gay, or bi. Just because someone is a man doesn't mean I want to pork them. My friends couldn't believe that I could be friends with a guy and assumed that he was also gay and that there had to be something between us. We know more about our own experiences than you do. I completely get it if you don't understand or are confused by something I relate to you. That's fine. But saying stuff like that doesn't happen or that's not how it works is so damn frustrating. You can't debate our literal life experiences. You're straight. I understand that completely and I have never once wanted to pork you. Please stop treating me like I want to screw anything with a willy and a heartbeat. I'd like to clarify something. I've gotten a few responses now about straight guys who've had unfortunate experiences with gays who've pushed past the limit and tried to get them to do stuff with another guy. I understand this happens, and as a gay man, I do not approve of it. It's sexual harassment and extremely rude to push boundaries just because they see straight men as these forbidden fruit. But those men are not us as a community. Most of us might watch a STR8 porn now and then. It's a fantasy just like any other, but it's a fantasy, not something to be acted on. But we respect boundaries and do not desire to convert straight men. Please don't use a bad experience and the vocal minority to judge us as a whole community.
I'm not trying to be special by being gay. It wasn't a choice I got. We don't have a crush on you because we're gay. You have to have a good personality for that, among other things.
My boyfriend was surprised when I didn't ask him if he was attracted to me. Apparently it's that common that it's surprising when it doesn't happen.
I was lucky enough for this not to happen to me yet, or if it is they haven't said anything, but that isn't the worst bi story I have. A lady friend of mine was my crush for about a year, told her when I was over it to clear the air. Things were fine, but it made her think and that she might be bi too. When she told her boyfriend, and I know he's a major bone doing some shady stuff, now not surprised by his reaction, he refused to speak to her for a while. Absolute poo hole. He seemed to think that if she was bi she might get a crush on a girl and leave him. Total knob.
Gays are used to building their own family. Some of us don't get to stay with our biological families because we are gay. It is something that is wonderful when you start to build your family again. If your family is toxic and horrible to you, don't be afraid to walk away from all the pain and hurt. You can build your own family. I watched a friend stop his education to go back home and help out his abusive father. He never got to finish the degree. He held the belief that he needed to be there for family when they wouldn't do the same in return.
Even if we do get along with our families, like my lesbian self, luckily, I notice we tend to just do this anyways by having a much higher percentage of the friend group be queer, especially in queer women's circles. There's value in the experience of being around other people who can understand the more unpleasant and sometimes deeply rooted aspects of queer existence, and it's often much more comforting than when I hang around my straight friends who, for example, might not understand why I have so much anxiety around doing very tame PD like hand-holding in public. No one in the relationship is the man or is the woman. We are not in relationships where we are trying to emulate basic hetero norms.
First time I was ever asked who is the woman, I was so confused. I genuinely didn't understand the question. I felt stupid and 3 times asked what do you mean, but she just kept repeating the question. I kept pressing. I thought I was being dense. We didn't get anywhere and I realized she didn't know what she was asking any more than I knew how to answer. Just because we're gay doesn't mean we are automatically attracted to every single person of the same sex. Please seriously check your ego. Straight people don't find every person of the opposite sex attractive. It's the same thing for gay people.
If lesbians want you to participate, they'll let you know. Otherwise no, it won't be more fun and you won't make me change my mind either.
Hearing these stories makes me cringe. My roommate and best friend is a lesbian, and she's been prompted by dudes and even women to do a group session with their opposite sex partners. Also the "if you ever need penis, I'm available" type comments. One of her co-workers said this to her while I was sitting next to her, and it took a bit of willpower for me not to want to punch him out of instinct, for some reason. Preaching to the choir, I'm sure, but most dudes get their lesbian knowledge from porn. When I ask dudes why they think lesbians don't watch lesbian porn, their response is usually cause women don't like porn. An ignorant friend of mine even tried to tell me he didn't understand why a lesbian wouldn't want penis since they all use dildos for pleasure, so what difference does it make if it's a dude attached? In light of that, it's not something us dudes really critically think about until we're exposed to it.
He didn't understand why a lesbian wouldn't want penis since they all use dildos for pleasure, so what difference does it make if it's a dude attached? You should ask if he wants to do his dude friends also, because what difference does it make if it goes into a dude LMO?
/pan, but I figure this counts. Coming out of the closet is not a one and done deal. Because unless you're the most flamboyant mofo around, every new person group of people you meet is going to start with the assumption that you are the default, that is, straight, until given a reason to believe otherwise. That means we have to take an assessment of every new interpersonal relationship we make to determine when Or even if it is safe, wise or worth the effort to come out again to each new person people?
That we can't change our sexuality. I had a guy repeatedly ask me out for a year. I told him I was gay the first time, and he kept repeatedly asking me to change my sexuality to date him. Wouldn't have dated him anyway. He thinks sweatpants are part of a smart outfit. Edit. By smart, I meant that he turned up in sweatpants to a concert we were both performing in as members of the orchestra, not that they weren't a good choice of clothing. I can appreciate a pair of sweatpants too.
Yeah, Christ. I told a dude that once and his reply was, is that negotiable? So skeezy.
Lesbian here. Straight women. I'm not attracted to most straight women I come across. I have a type, just like anyone else. That type falls more in the androgynous masculine presenting lady range. Now, most straight people are chill. But some straight women seem to think that because I'm gay, I must be super into them, and they get a bit awkward, off-putting. No, I'm not into you, I just am being friendly, as I try to be to everyone. But I'd be cool with being your friend. Yes, I'm gay. I really don't give a care about it. I don't need you to endlessly shout about how awesome gay people are. Just be my friend and treat me like you treat everyone else.
This always astonishes me. And not in a good way. It's always confusing when some of the less secure straight peeps in the group act like it's so awesome that we have gay friends. How about it's awesome that we have friends? Do you also ask them how the gay weather is? And if they have any super gay plans for the weekend? No? Because you don't actually want to hear about going to gay bars, or pride, or meetings to plan pride events. God, it's so much fun to plan pride, and I'm just the straight group mom, or the mundane stuff. You just want to announce to the world, hey you guys, I'm totally in a life for you super gay peeps. Not how this works. Not at all.
How about it's awesome that we have friends? Do you also ask them how the gay weather is? And if they have any super gay plans for the weekend? I had several gay friends of various genders who, after coming out, basically had this as a personality.
I mean, we had a few rounds of that before we settled into, oh, I'm still the same person. Just, you know, gay. Yeah, honey, you are. It's cool. You'll get weirded out when I say I find another guy attractive, but 2 minutes later you're slapping each other's firm butt cheeks and all that. It's pretty freaking hypocritical.
Dear Lord, this is one of the many parts of traditional masculinity that I have just never understood. I am straight and therefore feel no desire to play grab butt with other men. What the heck is up with that stuff? Someone please explain.
We know it's awkward when you want to refer to our other halves and aren't sure what word to use. You can just say boyfriend, girlfriend or partner, unless you know we are married. It's cool. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe to okpjdark, and I'll see you in the next one.